This is breaking. Ripple just made an unexpected move in the US, and XRP holders are reacting fast. What is going on, XRP Army? Welcome back to the channel for an emergency update. We need to talk, and we need to talk right now. If you're looking at the charts, you know exactly why the community is in a state of panic. XRP has retraced aggressively from its January highs of 240 down to the 150 range, and social media is on fire with fear. But the reason for this drop isn't just market volatility. It is a direct reaction to an unexpected strategic move by Ripple in the United States that has caught retail investors completely off guard. The headline is Ripple's unexpected US move, and that move is the decision to indefinitely pause the 2026 IPOs in favor of a massive multi-billion-dollar acquisition spree. In this video, we are going to break down why this decision triggered a sell-off, why the ETF outflows are painting a misleading picture, and why the smart money is actually celebrating this panic while retail sells the bottom. Let's address the elephant in the room, the IPO delay. For years, the narrative has been buy XRP, wait for the IPO, get rich. Investors expected a massive public listing in New York in 2026, but recent statements from Ripple leadership have signaled a hard pivot. Instead of raising cash from an IPO, Ripple is spending cash. They have acquired G Treasury used for $1 billion and prime broker Hidden Road for $125 billion. This unexpected move to stay private has caused panic because short-term speculators wanted the quick IPO pump. They didn't get it, so they are dumping. But you need to look deeper. Ripple isn't canceling the IPO because they are weak. They are delaying it because they are too profitable to need Wall Street's money right now. They are building a super app for finance before they go public, which means when they finally do, the valuation won't be 10 to billion. It could be 100 billion. We need to talk about the ETF outflow shock. To add fuel to the fire, data from late January showed the first major net outflows from the US spot XRP ETFs. Over $93 million left in a single day. This terrified the market. People thought the institutions are leaving. No, they are not. This is standard rebalancing after a massive run-up. The ETFs accumulated billions in Q4 2025. A slight pullback in Q1 2026 is healthy. The panic is coming from people who entered at the top expecting a straight line to $10. The fundamental thesis hasn't changed. The price is simply shaking out the leverage before the next leg up. Furthermore, let's look at the acquisition strategy. Why is Ripple buying a treasury management platform, G Treasury? This is the move that retail doesn't understand. G Treasury manages liquidity for thousands of corporate giants. By buying them, Ripple is literally buying the customer base. They don't need to sell XRP to these companies. They own the software these companies use. They can now integrate XRP-based ODL directly into the dashboards of Fortune 500 treasurers. This is a Trojan horse strategy. It takes longer to play out than an IPO hype cycle, which is why impatient holders are panicking, but it creates a floor of real utility demand that an IPO never could. We also have to address the market sentiment. The fear and greed index has flashed extreme fear for XRP specifically. This is a contrarian signal. When the crowd is panic selling because a company is too focused on building infrastructure, that is when you want to be paying attention. The unexpected move wasn't a mistake. It was a maturity signal. Ripple is acting like a fintech giant, not a crypto startup. Finally, look at the price action context. We are testing the 150 support zone. This was the massive resistance ceiling for years. Now it is the floor. Retesting old resistance as new support is textbook technical analysis. The panic is emotional, the chart is structural. The structure is still intact as long as we hold this zone. Now, let's pivot to the reality of the situation, the infrastructure play. The panic sellers are playing the hype play. They wanted a Super Bowl ad and an opening bell at the NYSE. Ripple gave them something boring but powerful, infrastructure. By acquiring Hidden Road, a prime broker, Ripple is positioning XRP to be the primary collateral asset for institutional crypto trading. This isn't sexy. It doesn't make for a viral TikTok, but it is the plumbing of the financial system. When a hedge fund wants to trade crypto options in 2027, they will likely go through Hidden Road, and the settlement will likely happen in XRP. Ripple is playing chess while the panic sellers are playing checkers. Let's discuss the the RLUSD stablecoin growth. While the price of XRP dropped, the market cap of RLUSD continued to climb, hitting $1.5 billion. This is a divergence. Usually when a coin crashes, everything in its ecosystem crashes, but the stablecoin usage is growing. This proves that the utility is sticky. The unexpected move to focus on stablecoin liquidity over IPO marketing is paying off in usage metrics, even if the price hasn't caught up yet. The panic is ignoring this fundamental growth. We also need to talk about the washout. Every major bull run has a moment like this, a mid-cycle correction driven by a confusing news event. In 2017, it was the China ban FUD. In 2021, it was the SEC lawsuit. In 2026, it is the IPO delay panic. This washout transfers coins from weak hands, who want quick profits, to strong hands, who want generational wealth. The on-chain data shows that wallets with 10M plus XRP have actually increased their holdings during this drop to 150. The whales are buying your panic. Furthermore, let's look at the regulatory safety net. Remember, the SEC case is over. Ripple paid the fine. This panic has nothing to do with the law. That is a massive luxury we didn't have before. The downside is capped because the legal existential threat is gone. This drop is purely market dynamics and mismatched expectations. It is much easier to recover from a sentiment drop than a legal drop. Let's address the competitor narrative. During this panic, you will hear people say Solana is taking over or SUI is better. Look at the facts. Did SUI just buy a company with 800 corporate clients like G Treasury? No. Did Solana integrate with a prime broker like Hidden Road? No. Ripple is the only one building a vertical stack, owning the ledger, the custody, the stablecoin, and now the treasury software. The unexpected move to buy these companies puts Ripple in a league of its own, separate from the rest of the crypto market. Finally, we have to touch on the rebound potential. Markets tend to overreact to bad news and underreact to good news. The reaction to the no IPO news was an overreaction. When the market realizes that Ripple is cash flow positive and expanding without diluting shareholders, which an IPO often does, the reversal will be violent. We are coiling for a snapback. So XRP holders into panic. Should you join them? Absolutely not. Panic is not a strategy. Strategy is looking at the data. The data says 1. ETF inflows were massive. Outflows are temporary. 2. Ripple is spending billions to acquire revenue generating companies. 3. The 150 level is a historical support fortress. 4. The IPO isn't canceled. It's delayed for a better valuation. What is your strategy? My strategy is aggressive defense. I am defending my position. I am not selling a single XRP at 150 that I bought or held through the lawsuit. In fact, I am looking at this 150 zone as a gift. It is a chance to lower your average entry price if you bought the top, or add to your moon bag if you bought early. The smart money is using this panic to accumulate. You should too. A critical warning on leverage. The reason this drop was so sharp, 20% in a week, is because people were leveraged long. They borrowed money to bet on the IPO. When the news came out, they got liquidated. Do not use leverage in crypto. It is a tool for the impatient to transfer money to the patient. Stay spot, stay safe. Let's talk about vision. If you believed in XRP at $240, what changed at 150? The utility? No. It got better with the G Treasury deal. The regulation? No. It's still clear. The only thing that changed is the price and the timeline of the IPO. If you are an investor, a cheaper price for a better asset is a good thing. If you are a gambler, it's a disaster. Decide which one you are. The bottom line is this: Ripple made an unexpected move to stay private and build an empire. The market panicked because it wanted a quick exit. The dust will settle, and when it does, the people who held the infrastructure play will be the ones rewarded. The weak hands are out. The train is lighter. Now we can move up. Thank you so much for watching this emergency update. If this video helped calm your nerves and give you perspective on the panic, please destroy that like button. It helps us fight the FUD. Subscribe and turn on notifications because we will be tracking the recovery live. Stay strong, stay safe, and I will see you on the moon. Peace.